Welcome back. My name is Ezilii, full-time content creator and Twitch partner.
I am Carize. I'm an affiliate Twitch streamer and also co-founder of Girl Streamers. And thank you very much for joining us again on Stream Theory. And this is a podcast dedicated to conversations that'll lead to discovering better practices of broadcasting and streaming.
And today's topic, we're going to actually talk about strategies for growth, which is near and dear to just about everybody's heart, at
Yes.
least most of the time. I don't know. Where shall we begin?
I think maybe start talking about, should we start at the beginning?
And then in the beginning, you had to hit the start stream button, right? That's your first step.
Very important.
All jokes aside, that is very important that you do hit that start stream button. Otherwise, there's no growth. Like, right? That just
Zero.
egg before the chicken,
Absolutely
or the
zero.
chicken before the egg. Who the heck knows? But somehow we have chickens and we have eggs.
I'm Team Egg.
Anyway, so a strategy for growth. That depends.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be?
What do you want to do?
How do you want to do
What's
it?
your goals? I think the first thing probably is to define your goals, or you can figure them out as you go, because that's something that's in constant development for me since we started streaming on this platform, and it changes. But at least I had a goal in mind.
My goal is to
To
have a
more.
positive community.
Yeah.
And to keep it positive, right?
And I think my goal right now is to get more indie developers looking at my stream and offering games that I can showcase. And yeah, get out there, get them more views, get me more views.
Right. I mean, we're talking about an audience, right? You have to have an audience
Yes.
for your content. No audience is no fun, said everybody that has no audience or had no audience at some point in time, right? That's never any fun. Starting out is very, very rough, and I
It is.
applaud those that are just now starting out. There's
Yep.
a few people that I know that are just now like, oh, I'm gonna start, and it's like, good.
You gotta start it. Yeah. Yeah.
Step one, start. As far as like growth is concerned, we did hit on game choice and content choice.
Which is very important as well. Yep.
Maintaining something like that. So sticking to city skylines, sticking to indie, that's very, very important as far as like sticking to a similar type of genre or similar realm of your content. Whether you
Yep.
do it, what, 5 days a week, 2 days a week, 1 day a week, if you stick to it in that regard, more people are likely to get familiar with you as they
Absolutely.
see that you're live, right?
Yep. And they know what to expect.
Yeah, but the idea is you got to get your name there first.
True.
Now, before I started, I actually read through the Twitch subreddit. Did you ever do pre-research?
I did actually. I'm not going to say I did pre-research. I did more research probably in the last 2 years that I've been streaming than I did before that, because I was strictly just streaming at the beginning because of our rating group. I did start to hit Reddit, which was interesting. I think we saw each other on a thread at one point and didn't realize it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
I still don't know.
we were on there somewhere. We were definitely on there, and we were also in the same guild at one point. In case people didn't
Yeah,
know
two
that.
ships, two ships in the night.
Passing the
Yep.
night. Yeah.
Do you think that your Reddit activity increased because of the girl streamers community and people seeking questions and answers to growth and how to stream?
See, my time on Reddit at the beginning was more me looking for those answers, not necessarily being the person to provide the answers for those. Girl streamers became that community that answered those questions, because we have quite a few people who have come on board who have that experience. So now we're learning. We're constantly learning. Don't know everything, but quite a bit more than we did when we started.
Well, right. If we stop learning, then what are
Yeah,
we doing?
yeah. And I think one of the key growths for even a lot of the streamers who are in our community and other communities that are like girl streamers benefited from being together, talking about growth, what was working for people, what was not working for other people, and also networking. So I think it's important to have those types of groups to come in, because doing it by yourself is obviously a lot harder.
I know of
Um,
people who have.
yeah, yeah,
Crazy, but
yeah,
it's entirely possible. So one thing as far as like growth, I would mention is being active in Discord.
absolutely, yes,
The more people that know your name, like, oh
yeah,
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 they're really cool when I talk to them in Discord. Maybe, oh, they're
totally.
live
All of
right
a sudden,
now.
there's a human element.
Click,
Yep,
right? Let
yep,
me let me go check them out. I think that the more active you are in a Discord like that, probably
yep.
the better. Another
Yeah,
thing with growth, we did hit on this in networking as far as like
and
reaching out
communication.
to
Yeah,
game devs, right? I
absolutely. Yeah.
mentioned them.
Hmm.
Lately, Surviving Mars has been my jam. The
Yep.
shirt kind of
And
fits, I
you're their
guess.
jam. You're their jam. So yep.
Yeah, among other broadcasters, but yeah, I mean the discourse that I've had with Surviving Mars community team through Twitter has been fantastic and superb. I'm very appreciative that we've had we've had moments where we're talking to each other through
Yep.
Twitter about stuff that's going to be in the game before the game's out, and then how we're doing as far as playing the game and how far we've gotten. It's been
Yeah, totally.
it's been really good, and it's beneficial to everybody.
Now you learn this though along the way. So let's talk
Yes.
about, say, your growth, because I find your growth fascinating, because you worked super hard at it, and you didn't have that audience to begin with. So what was your key to growth
Consistency.
at so at the beginning, consistency for sure.
Being
That's huge.
consistent.
That's huge. Yeah. Getting that schedule up, sticking to that schedule, making sure
Well, not
you're going on.
necessarily the schedule, but being consistently you.
What do you mean by that?
So there are bad days, there
Yeah,
are good days, and there are amazing days, right?
absolutely.
I try to have more amazing days than good days and more good days than bad days, right?
Okay.
So somewhere along the lines, you have to throw a switch on. I am on stream.
Hmm.
Today has to be
You're on
amazing,
stage.
right? You're
Yep.
on stage. As a content creator, we are performers, which if you asked
Yes.
me 10 years ago, because it's 2018, I graduated. So if you asked me 12 years ago, I graduated college 12 years ago. What? If you asked me 12 years ago when I walked across that stage for my art degree and said, you know what? You totally did not take any performance art classes. And I would be like, is it worth it to do it? No, I'm never going to do that in my life. Well, because I already was a musician on stage.
Yep. Yeah, that's performing. That's performing.
Right, but I would always
Yeah.
hide behind the drum kit.
You're like me behind the decks.
Right, behind the drum
Yeah.
kit, right?
Yeah. Behind the
And
camera.
right, so now, right, and now we're on camera.
Yep.
I would have said no, I'll never do that again. I was already on stage once before with
Yeah.
drumming and whatnot in
Yep.
front of pretty decent sized crowds at some points, and I probably would have said that's probably not. Nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
12 years later, here we
Here you
are.
go.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't
consistency.
have told you that this would be where I am 10 years ago. It didn't feel, but for some reason now it feels a lot more natural. It feels so much more natural. It feels like this is um where I should be right
Right,
now.
and I still get the high from being live.
Same.
I
Same.
don't like I could be tired
Really? Okay.
and let's
And you can
go.
snap into it.
Right.
Yeah. I think
Yesterday's stream was kind of rough a little bit because every time I thought I was comfortable with the game,
yeah,
it
it
threw
threw a
a
bit of a
wrench,
curveball.
and
Yeah.
it's like, God damn it. Like, can I not get one thing right today for this game to stop screwing me in the end? And I mean, I'm still winning, but we've come close to losing the colony at least 8 times yesterday.
Oh,
And
really?
it's like
Okay.
my heart, like, oh my God, no, not again. We can't kill these colonists again. What do you mean I'm out of this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now there's a storm. I can't land my rocket to get more supplies.
See, and I think the things that trip me up the most when live would be the technical things, like all of a sudden, okay, how come that file isn't linked? Okay, RAID response isn't working the way it should. Oh, this isn't. So those kind
Dang.
of things trip me up a little bit, but now I'm getting used to it. Like,
Right.
okay,
It's not going to
let's get
work.
this
Let it
fixed.
let it be let
Let
it
it
be
be
let it be.
what it
Great
is.
song.
Yeah,
So consistency, consistently being you.
consistency.
You are on
Yes.
stage. Recognize that you're on stage.
Yep.
It depends if you want to interact with chat. I mean,
Yeah.
Twitch is a live platform, but maybe you want to make content on YouTube. So there's a little bit of delay between a comment on YouTube and what you say in response to that comment, whether you
For
type
sure.
it in or you respond with the video.
Yeah, or you respond with an instant live reaction so people can see, say, said troll that happens, which I don't think you and I have a lot of anymore. I don't think I had a lot of to begin with. I've been fortunate that way, but you do have that live response. Like you have to roll with it,
Well, if you set
figure
your
things
chat
out.
to 6 second delay, you could completely ignore it
There'll be a time
and
when
delete it.
that'll be something I think about doing, but chat for me is pretty manageable.
Yeah, I mean, on some cases it can be. I mean, even
Yeah,
with 1,000 people, it could still be pretty slow.
true, true.
So growth schedule.
Schedule.
What's your schedule?
I'm Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and a special Saturday until the summer is over. And then Tuesdays on Girl Streamers. And then we're doing our podcast as well. So yeah, so I guess it mainly 3 days on my channel, 1 day on Girl Streamers.
And then typically every week I'm on 5 days a week.
Yep.
So that's a schedule. But for those of you that don't have time, you're like, well, what about me? I work 40 hours a week
Yep.
and I only have maybe 2 nights I could possibly stream.
That's great.
Well, I would tell you stream one and record another.
That's not a bad idea now that you have the uploading, casting while you're not there option on Twitch, which I think is fabulous. So yeah, you've got so much more flexibility now than you did a year ago. So you had to be on your schedule 5 days a week, leading up
Yes.
to your goals.
So, yeah, like for a while I was 7 days a week.
That's right.
It's kind of
That's a
brutal.
lot. That's a lot.
It's kind of brutal. I don't suggest it. I
It
don't
depends. So
suggest it.
sometimes you got to work your butt off though to get to those goals that you need to get to, right? And then you can take a breather
Right.
and then reevaluate and restructure and stuff. But
But a schedule, 1 day a week is still a schedule.
absolutely.
And if you do a bonus stream because you're not recording
Yep.
and somebody happens to see you, you can always say, hey, I normally stream on Tuesday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they could be
But
like, oh,
do
great.
announce and make sure that people know that you are doing that extra stream. Like don't hit that live and just hope that that things are going to happen. People are going to be there. You got
Right.
to
Use
get
social media. Although don't make social media only about your stream.
totally. Yeah, we talked about that as well
Yeah. Today
in
I
tweeting.
yep. Tweet something other than, hey, I'm live, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you up to? Say something a little bit personal maybe about, hey, worked on this project today. Might not be necessarily what is happening on your Twitch page, but something else that you're doing.
Well, today I tweeted some life advice.
Oh, did you?
Stuck in a rut? Question mark. Try something out of the ordinary for yourself. So
Yeah.
saying things like the phrase I used, I don't have time for that,
Right.
is an excuse to not go outside of your comfort zone.
Yep.
Like we know our own misery. Like it's known misery, right? Even
Yeah.
though we're like, I'm a relatively very extremely happy person. I don't know if you guys could tell this, but I'm quite happy. And but there are people that are not happy, right?
Yep.
There are
Yep.
people that go
For
through
whatever reasons.
depression, and I as happy as I am, I do have a tinge of depression thrown into
Yeah.
that mix. And it causes, like, when you evaluate yourself, it causes things in your head, right? It's called known
Absolutely.
misery is the phenomenon. Known misery, where you know
Mhm.
your misery and you're willing to just, this is just the way I am,
To
and
bury
I
it.
don't have
Yeah.
time to do anything other than this.
Yep.
Well, that is an excuse for not jumping out of the box and doing something you probably wouldn't have done. So when you look at somebody who you perceive as to be extremely happy, and you look at their life, or you ask them something like, what do you do to be happy? And they say, oh, well, I meditate 30 minutes every morning. Oh, I don't have time for that. They have more time than I do. Well, that's just an excuse for you not to try it. Maybe if you
Yeah.
went to
Yep.
bed
Might not be
about
your thing,
45
but
minutes
yeah.
early instead
Yeah.
of staying up until 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
and you went to bed at midnight, right? So you went to bed at midnight, you woke up 45 minutes early, you did meditate, you do your thing, because usually you got to go to the bathroom, right? It's important.
That is
You do your
important.
stuff, you might brush your teeth, you
Schedule
might,
that.
right. But you spend 30 minutes meditating before you leave the house.
Yep.
The excuse would be, I don't have time for that.
Make time for it.
Make time for it. It might change your
Yeah.
life. So that, like, I dropped that today, because as I look at things and, like, what can I do to shake it up a bit? Like, sure, I
Right.
walk into the studio, I have coffee, I flip the switch, we're
Mhm.
dancing, we're having fun, but maybe the game is frustrating, so how do I get around the frustration? Who knows? Meditate? Sure. Why not? Why not
That
give it
might
a
be an
try?
option. Yeah. And so on my side, it's I have to have a really good workout at least 3 times a week, and that keeps me out of that funk. And I know that if I don't make time for that, then it's going to affect what happens to me when I stream or when I interact with just people in real life. So I need that. I need that aspect in my life
Yep.
in order to combat those depressions and yeah.
So that's
So
part
that's
of
my meditate.
stage, right? So
Yes.
stage, schedule.
Yeah.
So consistently you and schedule
Yeah.
are two things. What, social media, make sure it's not just I'm live.
Yep. Yep. We got tons of bots and stuff for that. And we talked about that as well. We have tons of bots for that. You don't need
Yeah,
to.
like your Discord.
Yeah.
I use Capsly to just, like, automate tweets through during the broadcast.
Yep.
Hey, just so you know, we're live and I've got some positivity, right? Just little stuff that just helps, like, ting ting, because the alerts might go out. But then I also make my content, my Twitter content, a little bit less gaming when I'm not doing things game related, like Twitch
Yep.
St. Louis, the meetup. So local meetups would be a strategy for growth.
Oh my goodness, that's huge. That's huge. If anyone's on my channel, you know that I stream through a group called Achievement Seekers, and that's basically born of our Twitch Toronto meetup here, which was a fabulous group of people, and that was an event I went out to by myself. I'm like, I'm gonna go meet these wonderful Toronto casters, and
Yep.
ended up making some pretty really close in real life friends too. And yeah, so we developed this group, and then it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right. And
Yeah.
so those local meetups, that's a chance to talk and network
Yep.
IRL.
Yep.
Other things for growth. So my journey, so in 2016, I hit start stream, and I think the first stream had like 3 people in it.
Did you have that much?
Yeah.
I am impressed.
Well, it's the type of game.
Slow down.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was more a bot and a couple of friends.
That sounds a lot like, yeah, that was, I
I
think
think
I
it
got
was the
more
bot and then a
stuff
couple of
watching the
friends.
past broadcasts, just during the first bit.
Right, which goes back to the music conversation. If you're using royalty free stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So every time I go look at somebody's VOD or I go look at a clip, it shows recommended at the
Yes.
bottom,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it says something like based on your viewing history,
Yep.
and it shows, well, most of the time it shows myself because
Yep.
I'm always looking at the like genre, because somebody, I see it
Which
on
you
the
should
feed,
be looking at
and
your
it's like,
stuff.
yeah, we'll talk about that soon. I look at somebody who's playing that game,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at what they're doing, or like they shared a clip, and it's like, oh, I'll click it, and then it'll show, because I've played that same game, and it's like based on your viewing history, and it recommends me, and it's like I can't watch myself live.
Yep.
I want to find some people that I could like enjoy after I'm done.
Yep.
Raid targets.
Absolutely. I think we touched on that a little bit too, but yeah, finding or keeping your viewers interested, and also sending them off if they're already in that zone, in that surviving Mars or the indie
Well,
game that
how
I'm
do we
playing.
keep them interested? So, a strategy for growth. So we covered like alerts happen, right? So, and also when somebody follows you, there's a switch to get notified,
Yep.
which it used to be an all or nothing approach on Twitch for a while. You had to opt in for the email notification or you didn't. And this is like
Right.
years ago, and I
Yep.
opted out so I don't get those emails.
Yeah.
But this switch here will let you be emailed every time somebody goes live, and you could choose who you get those emails from.
Yeah.
Those emails are fairly quick now. They used to be delayed in upwards of like 2 hours.
That's a huge delay. I did not know what the time frame was on that.
Yeah,
That's
I had
crazy.
people getting emails at 4 in the morning when I was already off the air. Like
Oh.
they would show me that the Twitch email came in at 4 in the morning,
Yep.
and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
I think
not,
it's pretty instant now,
I'm
right?
not live at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not supposed to be.
You're like, maybe I am.
Maybe I was still on the air at 4 in the morning. I don't know. But so those notifications work. What else could be growth? Reddit activity.
Yeah, and I still think that that's an underused forum. Like I don't know a lot of, say, girl streamers that are using Reddit. I think I'm one of the few in our Discord who actually has their Reddit account attached to their Discord profile.
I don't know if I linked my Reddit account.
You may have.
I think, didn't they add that? Isn't that a relatively recent addition to the accounts? To Discord?
Relatively within the last year-ish, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah.
I set up my Discord profile and I haven't touched it other than making sure that Twitch was connected and Twitter was connected and Battle.net.
Battle.net, yep.
Yep.
And Steam.
Yeah, Steam. I'll have to look.
There's another growth possibility as well, as being active on Steam. We were just playing around with that
we were
earlier
just
before we
looking.
started.
Yeah, because I grabbed a mod for Surviving Mars.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I found another one. There's already a sandbox out, so I could bring my very carefully placed and contrived, detailed city building to Surviving Mars on another planet now. That will be awesome. I'm looking forward to jumping into that whole other life to that game. Nonetheless, so Reddit. I found a bulletin board yesterday. I don't know, a bulletin board? Like, what the heck is that? Do people even know what that is anymore? It was a forum. It's like a Q&A. I don't even read it's foreign to me. I don't remember the name of it. But I've already like ranked up in it because people were asking questions about Surviving Mars, and I have 150 hours ish into it.
Yeah.
And the questions are like, well, is
traffic
there
from it?
ever any of this? And it's like, well,
Absolutely, come see.
kind
Or
of.
let's-
Well, I didn't want to like go too self-promoty.
Okay.
Somebody did ask for a tutorial and I dropped it. I was like, this might be of use to you. I mean, I'm just trying to help you. I'm no real like, I'm going to self-promote on all of these and I'm going to drop this tutorial. No, I wanted to answer the questions. And then somebody was legitimately looking, I want a tutorial for this. And I said, well, I've already recorded one, so here, have this. And if you have questions, just find me. So
But I still think there's a lot of areas in Reddit where you can self-promote. Like they promote you to self-promote.
yeah, in
Like,
some
let's see your
cases.
channels. Let's see what's your. I think one of the first ones that I had joined on Reddit were streamers who were over the age of 30 and streamers who were over the age of 40. I was actually curious to see if
Well,
there was
I only
a group.
qualify for one of them
I qualify for both.
until later.
Until later.
Dun,
So I
dun,
think
dun,
that
dun.
was one of the first one, and I found quite a few pretty cool streamers through that, and got a lot of felt a lot better about streaming. Actually, I had a lot of reservations at the beginning because of
That it's a
age-related things. Yeah, it's very
young
much
crowd.
yep,
You know, I find that more full-time content creators are older,
yes, yes,
which
yep.
comes up to another podcast episode that we have at least
That we'll talk
planned.
about. Yep.
So what do we've got? So I started off with 3.
You started off 3. I think I was 1, and that wasn't even including a bot because I didn't even know what a bot was.
Well, so I knew that what a bot was because I looked into Reddit.
Okay.
I was like, oh, well, I should
Now, is
probably
this
get
just in
Nightbot.
TV or you're talking about Twitch?
This is Twitch.
This is Twitch. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
my account on Twitch was started in 2013. I think it was right when they switched,
Right when they switched. Okay. So I was there before the switch probably
which
about
was
half a year.
2012,
Something
right?
like
Is
that.
when
No, it can't.
Justin.
Oh, that's when it started, right? I'm talking about like just before they actually made this. Was it 2012 already?
Yeah, I believe we'd have to look at. I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
wiki, and if you guys know, just tell us below. But
Yeah.
January 2013 is when my account was made,
That's when your account was made. Okay. I got to look back at that. I think I
and I
was
didn't start
probably
streaming
noticing
for
that.
what 3 years after. Yeah,
Yeah.
2016.
I wasn't doing anything on a regular basis. It was
I
very
just
much
watched
really
people.
dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started with 3, but then I was consistent. And then I joined Girl Streamers. I joined Girl
Yeah.
Streamers right before I did my first Here's My Schedule.
Yep.
And activity in Discord.
Totally.
You could say that my Discord activity is slacked off, but look at the stuff that I'm doing at the moment.
You are very active. You're incredibly active.
Sometimes when I should be sleeping and I
You got to
get
make
yelled
the
at.
time.
Right. It's important. I find that being active in Discord is important. I could keep up with about 5 before I start to like really, really slack off. And I'm
Yep.
sure some
Yeah.
Discord communities are like, but you never talk in ours. Like, well, I read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because I don't talk doesn't mean I'm not reading
Yeah.
it. And I don't pop into a channel and be like, hey, you had this question. Let me see if I can answer it for you.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's
You have to know
how.
where to dedicate. You also have to, because you do have limited time, especially being a full-time streamer. You have limited time, so you have to figure out where you want to allocate that time and what's going to be most beneficial for both you and the person that you're
Recording.
interacting with, right?
Right. And then what popped back into my mind was recording. Just because you're on Twitch doing a live stream doesn't mean you can't have stuff on YouTube to help capture some of the SEO from Google searches about some game.
Totally.
And
Now, you weren't utilizing that a lot at the beginning, though. Like with your
No.
push to partner wasn't YouTube heavy, even though that's something that you wish you would have done before.
If
I think
if
you
I
had
were
mentioned that.
starting today, I would say
Yeah.
I would make a couple of months run on YouTube
Yep.
before I flip the live stream on and cover things like tutorials, like how to do this.
Tutorials are huge.
But then also do something as a Let's Play series, but then move the Let's Play series to live content. So there's tutorials on YouTube. You could search, how do I do this and this? But then
you'll
have
find
all
it.
the live Let's Play stuff over being done live. But back to the music. As much as we like music, if you just keep it to game music or you find a royalty-free service,
Yep.
if it's YouTube friendly, you could cut up your broadcast if you take breaks. Highlight, jot down your time code.
Mm-hmm.
Highlight the first part, highlight the second part, highlight the third part, or 4 or 5 or however long. Send that over to YouTube.
How long do you
Although
have to wait now before you do that? So, for partners and for affiliates, I know there's a clause that says it's 24 hours.
it's
24
24
hours, I
hours.
forget. Okay, it's not bad.
I don't know of anybody that has been in trouble by just highlighting and sending it over,
Okay.
but I wouldn't do the whole VOD, especially if you do multiple hours. Because if you're doing a stream, which part of growth is stream length. If you're doing a stream that's about 4 hours, that's a 4 hour length of time somebody's gonna either sit down or not sit down and watch on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yep.
Remember, YouTube is a very different audience than Twitch. Twitch, you're live, and if you're live for an hour, that's only an hour for people to find you.
Yep.
Your time probably there, if you only have an hour to make content, would probably be to record it and then to edit it when you have 30 minutes to sit down to throw on something at the beginning and something at the end and send it to YouTube if you're pressed for time. And then you just suddenly do something live on Twitch. If your YouTube is getting traffic, there's always a little thing that pops up and says live on Twitch that people can click through. I did it a really slow way in the grand scheme of things for a lot of people. A lot of people just like YouTube and boom, there's an audience after they've made a
Yeah.
year's worth of YouTube content.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
their growth. That was their
right. And it's not fair to compare yourself to other people.
No. No.
Because that starts to mess with you, right?
Right. Well, your growth is different. Your growth
Right.
is totally different. Your
Everybody's path
platform
to
is
partner is different.
Yeah.
But being consistent and having a schedule and then streaming for 4 hours or longer, I attribute to the growth, because if the notification email goes off an hour after, or they're at home, or they're at like work, or they're out to hanging out and they check their phone like, oh, Ezilii's live or Carize is live or so and so is live.
Yeah.
Oh, click. Now they're in the stream. But if I just only streamed for 2 hours and they got that email at
It's done.
an
It's
hour
over.
and 45 minutes into the stream because they got home and like, oh, click, and they're like, oh, you're leaving me? Oh, bummer, right?
Yep. Yeah, I have a lot of viewers. I don't know if it's the same as you. Like my community loves each other.
Yeah.
So a lot of them come in just to hang out with each other, like just to say they're there to say hi to me, but it's a very interactive community. So when they pop in, it's like, hello so and so, hey Carize.
Right. Now everybody
So
just
it's
goes to hello everybody. So as the
yeah,
community has gotten larger, it's hello everyone as opposed to hey,
so and so.
right.
Yeah,
Right, because there's otherwise you either you're not saying hi to some people.
yeah, yeah.
Even though they're clearly talking. So hello everybody helps cover everything as far as like, I mean, I noticed that
Inclusive.
right,
Inclusive.
being
Yeah.
inclusive to everybody in the channel. I noticed that switch happened probably to about an average of maybe 20 to 30 concurrents. Was that everybody started to be more like a more used term?
Yep.
As opposed to hello XYZ and AB, right?
Yep.
Because those are the people talking at the moment. Now it's just hello everybody, which is an interesting thing to notice as you grow. It's like,
Yep.
when did that happen? Oh, But the stream length is important.
Do you think so?
I think so.
For just that, just the email that goes out, or to make sure that people have enough time to tune in.
People have enough time
And
to get to get into the
because
chat
you have the people who join you say in the morning, and then people who might join you
in the afternoon.
closer to into the afternoon, right? Because
Right.
that's the only time that they're going to be able to see you.
So when I start at 9 a.m. Eastern, most people are either at home on the West Coast getting ready to go to work, because it's 6 o'clock their time.
So what would you suggest for people who don't have the time to do a stream like that? The longest, or my average, I think now is
You're still at about 3 hours, right?
3. It's getting closer to 4 hours now, which I'm happy about. But those who say can only afford to do a 2-hour stream still do it.
Do the 2 hour stream, but make sure you're pushing stuff on YouTube
Yeah.
for offline
Yeah.
discovery. Because we
And
have to face
yeah.
it that YouTube, so as far as like platforms, it's YouTube, Twitch, Mixer.
Yeah.
Well, it's technically YouTube, Twitch, and like there's like Ustream or something, which doesn't really do a lot of. It's more IRL stream.
Okay. Okay.
Periscope,
And Periscope. Yep.
right, and then Mixer, like in terms, but Periscope is for the most part just the mobile app.
Yep.
And like television apps, like on
I've got
Apple
a couple
TV
of
or
live streams
Fire,
that way. Yep.
right, on Amazon Fire or something. So you have multiple websites to pick from, but YouTube at the moment is still the largest trafficked website because it's got grandparents know what YouTube is
That's true.
because
Yeah.
they watch the news. Oh, well, there's this cat video that's making the rounds on YouTube. This went viral, this viral video, because back when YouTube started, it's like, oh, this video went viral. Now this person made $10 million because they had
Yep.
all this ad revenue.
Yep.
So everybody jumped on YouTube, right? Looking for their quick profit from ad revenue because, I mean, why not get paid for the ads that you see, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's YouTube, Twitch, everything else. Mixer's in there somewhere too, although Mixer's kind of growing.
Okay. I know Mixer. I know that Mixer is obviously a player because we're talking about it right now, but I don't know enough about how their whole platform is working or
Yeah,
what
I
they're doing, or
couldn't
if
I
they're actually
couldn't
going to be a
say
competition.
I couldn't say one or the other. I've never streamed on it. I mean,
Okay.
the
I do have an
websites.
account on it.
Yeah, I have an account too.
Yeah.
The website, I mean, it's running HTML5, which was cool to see. Oh, look at this! But I've ran into trouble with it. Just like, why is this not displaying correctly? Why is that not
Oh,
displaying
okay.
correctly? And I it could be me. It could be them. But the idea is that if you only have 2 hours to do a live stream, and then you have like an hour here and an hour there, somewhere in your schedule, like I could maybe record something and let it render while I sleep, but I could record for this 30 minutes and let it compile itself, not necessarily upload, because you don't have to sit in front of the computer to upload it. You just hit the button and you walk away and
Okay.
keep it unlisted. So I argue that if you only have 2 hours to live stream, if you find bits and pieces throughout the week to where you could record something for maybe 20 minutes worth, let's play this whatever. And here's this quest on World of Warcraft. Right? Here's my tutorial. And we're playing,
yeah.
right? Da, 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 da. We're playing. I recorded it. I'm talking about it. All I need is some, like, I guess Windows Movie Maker. I don't know. I cut everything. I edit stuff on Final Cut Pro. So I'm not familiar with
It's a
free
pretty
or
hefty
cheap
program.
stuff.
Yep.
But so I edit with Final Cut Pro, but I put something in the beginning and I put something at the end. You know, if you found this, blah, 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 like, subscribe, share, the stuff that you're going to see here shortly. Right? The stuff that you can see here shortly, you just drop it in. So once you have a template made, drop it in. But you could also, if you're really, really pressed for time, you could also argue that if you do your Twitch stream right, where you have a break,
Okay.
and you could speak to the audience saying, "Yes, I'm gonna cut this here. It's gonna say thanks for watching, and then it's gonna go to a I'll be right back screen, or starting soon screen or something."
Those can be your key. Your
So
key
you can
frames, or your key,
right.
key
So you can
yeah.
insert that. So we have our initial starting soon screen, and maybe only keep like, I don't know, a second or two of it. You don't need much, but you still have that screen that you can insert as your thumbnail, or you can make thumbnails with some other applications.
Yep.
You could
Photoshop.
right, or Canva. Canva
whatever,
is free.
yeah.
Canva.com. Somebody who's looking for a free option. You can highlight your video from your VOD, export it to YouTube, upload that thumbnail So now you have a pretty thumbnail. So you could do all of this in next to no time and get people from there to Twitch when you're live. And if you do your stream without a camera, because some people start off without cameras,
Yeah.
like there was a trend, like the face reveal was a trend.
I remember that. Yeah. Just like at 500 followers, we're
Okay.
gonna do a face cam.
Sweet.
It's a good promo.
Yeah, but I just terrible lighting, just went with it, right?
Yes.
We go with it. And you could, if you do it right that way, that 2 hours that you just did is working on 2 platforms.
Yep.
Food for thought as far as a strategy for growth. If you don't have the time, I still argue that
To be live.
right, if you don't have like 8 hours every week to dedicate to, 2 4-hour streams.
Yeah. But
why
if
not?
if this is part of your goals, if this is your plan, if this is a venture you want to get into, you want to be a Twitch streamer, you want to be a full-time streamer, this is positive stuff for growth.
Yeah, but
Schedules,
I would do
consistency.
content on both. Yeah, the schedules, being consistently you.
Yeah.
Like I can't tune into somebody who's whining and crying and really upset and mad. Like I could get that. Oh my goodness, I'm crying because people, bits and stuff. Like I get that, but if your day is always bad,
Oh, yes, yes.
like every day is
rainy
just
day,
a
the
bad
rainy day
day.
streamer.
Like,
The rainy
do
day
you live in
streamer. Yeah.
Seattle? Because Seattle has sunshine sometimes.
Yeah. That's also
But that's also me. I can't tune into that.
yeah. No, it's the same. It's not the type of stream that I'm gonna be jumping into either, but that's what we prefer.
Right. And some people
What
prefer
appeals to us.
the rainy day.
Streamer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, why can't I do this? Oh, everybody sucks here.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Well, sometimes that to the extreme can be a benefit to some people. It might be hard to break out of that, like once you become that extremely negative rainy day streamer and you want to be a positive streamer, you might lose that audience.
What, the negative ninnies?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else can we cover for growth? I think stream length is important. Did we not do anything?
I think we covered basics and stuff. I think having a conversation after this
About advanced, like later in the future? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some other thoughts. Yeah, I feel pretty good. So the summary would be, obviously you promote on social media, but you engage with your games community or so like if you're a creative streamer, Michael's has message boards, right?
Really?
That's a website. Like
Okay.
there's reviews.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
oh, I use this product on my stream. If
Yeah.
you have questions, feel free to seek me out. But here's what I thought about it. And if this doesn't answer your question, then
That's a good tips and tricks right there.
Reddit is
Yeah.
a good one, right?
Yep.
Other message boards,
Yep.
Discord,
Steam, we
Steam.
talked about. We love Steam, especially and game developers do love reviews. They want to hear your feedback.
Be active.
Be active. Yeah. If you're not there, no one's gonna know who you are. You have to, if you want people to know you, your stream, what you're about, you gotta be there.
If I was working outside of content creation and I had a lunch period, so like an hour for lunch or 30 minutes for lunch, I would spend that time combing through like Reddit, combing through Steam, responding to things in Discord, seeing people, like chat with people. I used to pop in on mobile in other streams to catch people when I could.
Yep.
And talk
You
on
gotta constantly be hustling.
message boards.
Absolutely. Yep.
I would use that time, I'd be eating, but I would use that. I would encourage somebody to seek out that time. Like there's time in your day that you could be doing something to improve your growth, whether it's thinking about, oh, well, maybe I should do this on this live, but Don't forget that time that you spend reading some random silly article that Facebook fed you, because that's what Facebook does nowadays.
Yes.
You could be engaging with your games community. So when somebody has a question and you've already encountered it, you could offer up that answer, and then you can invite them to ask another follow-up questions if they have
Yep.
that,
And
without
if you
being
start
too self-promoting, right?
totally, and if you start making that kind of stuff a habit, it's going to become easier and easier. It's going to be second nature. It's going to be something that you just go to. So yeah, forming good habits like that.
Habit forming,
Habit forming.
like streaming, is an addiction.
You think so?
I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, you know what? It's for me, it's I I need it in my life. I love it. I absolutely love it. Feels good. Feels good, man.
Yep. I think that covers some strategies for growth.
I think we did.
My name is Ezilii.
I'm Carize. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Stream Theory. We'll see you next time.
If you think this was handy, please like, subscribe, and share with everybody, because we love meeting new people. Until next time, have an amazing one.
Bye, guys.